Are you happy with the system of party politics that is being played right now?
Not as we wanted it. You have now 191 political associations.
And 68 parties.
May God help you. We knew it. That's why we advocated for two-party system. The whole thing about democracy is to give you a choice. In two-party, you have a choice. You either belong to this or you belong to that. You have a choice. So the choice of democracy has been accommodated in a two-party system. And we also added at that time will come in the next 20, 25 years when others, like the far right is coming up in Europe now. It took a lot of time before the far right's immigration and so on are becoming a central issue in European politics. We wanted to see such a thing happen in this country, but we are too much in a hurry.
Well, but essentially, General, we have two main parties, really. Because if you're not in the PDP, then you're in the APC. For most of the major political players, they're either in one or the other. So,
or the third force. The media talked about the third force.
That is just coming up at this point in time. Because
then there will be the fourth one, the fifth one.
Because they say that the PDP and the APC are no options.
Okay, fine. That makes sense. If these two are not options, then somebody should be sitting down to think, now what do we do? Surely not to add more 90 political parties, but a constructive outfit. And that is doable because we have free press, we have social media, we have mainstream media. You can expose your ideas all over the place. And people can say, now, wait a minute, there is a lot of sense in what these guys are talking about. Let's give it an option. Because they will give you a lot of, I think we haven't seen yet, I haven't seen arguments why these two are not options. I may have my own opinion, but I think the arguments have not been well articulated. That's right.
Now, you personally have remained in the PDP all through. Does that say something about you? Since some of your colleagues have moved in several directions over the last almost 2 decades.
I have conviction, and I try to keep to that. I think you all know it. We were involved in establishing the PDP. And I never liked the idea of building something, either to destroy it later or to allow it to go. You have that feeling, after all, maybe I failed, that's why this organization is failing. But if you still believe that what you are trying to do was correct, you don't just abandon ship just like that. You just keep on seeing how can we improve it, how can we change it, what can we do. That's why, for example, they talked about rebranding, refocus, and the 3 R's. That's how you build an institution, not building it today. If it fails, break it down and start. You can't achieve anything by that.
You couldn't have been pleased at what happened in the run-up to the last election in which the party lost power.
But I did expect they should, because they knew it. You can always tell the general mood of the public. There was frustration and despondency sets in, and maybe the other party was much more focused on educating the ordinary voter that, look, get us, we are the right people for you. And if they succeeded in doing that, then that changes the whole equation.
But now, with what is happening at this point, are you happy at what is happening with the PDP? It seems to now be on a resurgence.
Happy that they are in
that they're coming back.
I'm pleased that it's like a nation A nation has to be able to fall and get up and build and move again. And this is what a political party has to do, and that is the institution. If you study most of these countries, you find that there are parties who were disastrous in their country, but they built it up gradually, found out where they went wrong, and say, okay, we could do better. This time, don't do it this way. This is the way to go about it. And I'm happy the Nigerians are realizing, or those of them in the party, that yes, we made a mistake. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can go back to the populace and ask them to trust us this time. If they succeed in doing that, I think that is all well and good.
Now, people have talked about the issue of succession. People like you are now elder statesmen. There should be what you, in your time in power, call the new breed. Taking over, learning at the feet of those who were there before, and taking note of where they went wrong and avoiding those pitfalls and so on. Is that happening, in your view?
Helping?
Is that happening? Is it happening?
No, I kept on thinking about this, the same line you are thinking. But as at today, I came out with one conclusion, and it may be rubbish as time goes by, having come from IBB. It's not serious. After all, he annulled the election. You know, that sort
People
of thing.
People take you seriously.
Eh?
People take you seriously and take your words very seriously.
No.
They may criticize you, but they take you seriously.
No, I like criticism. I enjoy it. Sometimes those who criticize me, I take a phone them and say, look, you are right. I like this. And that's what it is. But not many people know that. Until now, I'm admitting to you. If, for example, we sit down and talk generally about what is happening now, I think we still haven't done much either to understand what we want or where we want to go or what we want to achieve as a people. We still believe on I am wrong, you are right concept of living together. That is not going to help us in the country.
But are the younger ones learning that lesson?
Now, what I want to see is a young man that has what I will call 4-in-1 or 5-in-1. One man, young man, but he is 5-in-1. What do I mean? I want to see a young man who, through reading, studying, he has the vision of a man called Abiola. I want to see a young man who has the charisma of a man called Sardauna of Sokoto Ahmadu Bello. I want to see a young man who has the eloquence and educational prowess of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. And I want to see a young man who has convictions like General Obasanjo. If we have this 4-in-1, I think we will be able to do it.
General, you mentioned General Obasanjo. He was your boss, then at some point you were his boss. And then now the two of you are elder statesmen. There are people who wonder what your relationship is like.
Very, very good. If that will answer your question. The relationship is very good. I respect him. He has convictions.
You mentioned that. How about General Buhari?
He's my colleague, he's a good friend of mine. We are very good friends. And I have said it during his campaign, that he is a man with conviction.
People are starting to pay what is called homage and pilgrimage to Mina ahead of next year's election. Are you going to take a position on the election?
How do you mean? I will vote.
Well, that will be taking a position, really. But before then, would you indicate where you think things should go?
Then it ceases, if I do that, it ceases to be a democracy because it's a secret, known to you only. So it should be known to me only.
But people come to you.
No, we talked on general situation, ideas. If you come to me tomorrow and say you want to be a governor of your state, I will pray for you. Those of us at our age, God listens to our prayers very much.
Okay, so but that could partly explain why people are coming here.
Because I'm older. And I may have some advice also. I can advise somebody not to do it. But those are much younger people.
Quite a lot of people will say if you advised, using the word advised, someone not to do it, that amounts to putting a full stop to that person.
No, that's why it's advised. Otherwise, I would have
people don't
ordered
take what
or
you say as
directed.
advice. They take it more like instructions.
No. I will tell him I'm advising you. And I use that word advisedly too, you know.
Now, it's not like you, but I wonder if you take a look around occasionally, and maybe when you go out or you have discussions with your friends and you look at the country as a whole, do you look back and wonder why quite a number of the things you tried to do didn't gain foothold? For example, you mentioned the two-party system.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about the whole issue of newer, younger politicians, a natural succession, the kind of qualities they should have. Even a lot of the issues that are coming up in the political debates now, restructuring and all that. Dr. Cookie, who headed the then political bureau, already attended to a lot of that.
Absolutely.
In the course of their assignment. And today, those issues are still being discussed. There must be some element of frustration when you think about that and think, 25 years ago, we solved this problem. Why are we still discussing this?
Because we are Nigerians. We like to talk about it, and we normally have the tendency to look at the messenger and not the message. And I think if we get that out of our system, we will definitely go a long way. Check the message and not the messenger. There are a lot of very bright, brilliant people in this country. I'm happy I worked with some of the best people in this country. I will give you a typical example. Professor Ransom Kuti, when we were together, we were getting things from the World Bank or from the World Health Organization, drugs, a lot of things for primary health care, virtually at no price at all. The reason was Professor Ransom Kuti was a colleague or a course mate of the chap in charge of the World Bank. They were in the university together, they became professors together. They knew each other. And I met him once, and he said, this, my friend, he has a lot of conviction. I said, yes, I had problem with other doctors who said he believes only on primary health care. So there are exotic diseases and so on, and nobody is taking good care of them. But he had that conviction, and that has gone a long way to provide good health to our teeming population.
Yeah, he tried to solve the most basic things.
Absolutely.
That kill thousands of children,
right.
Like diarrhea, diphtheria, measles, and all of that, which is, of course, the primary health care.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to take you in another direction. One of the other things that seems to have gained currency now, which is this issue of corruption and the war against it. There are those, of course, who argue that the issue of corruption gained currency before this government and before even governments before it. But are you happy with the way the war has been fought? Is this sustainable this way?
The way this war should be fought, it should be holistic. It should involve everybody. I give you example. I used to chat with some people. You start it even from home. If you call your boy and tell him, if you take first position in the next exam, I'm going to buy you a car, or I'm going to do this. That's your building, changing somebody's mind that whatever you want to do, you must be.
There must be some motivation, some
There
kind
must
of
be
reward.
something of reward. That's number one. Number two, the reward system in this country is equally faulty.